you could accept the fact that the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. What do you mean biblical? What he means is Old Testament, Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff. Brimstone coming down from the skies, rivers and seas boiling, 40 years of dark earthquakes, volcanoes, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Broadcasting live deep from an underground military bunker or a spaceship high above the plane of Earth, setting the standard and raising the bar. The only way a real, award-winning media puppet knows how to do. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Sam-The-Vote-A-Thone, the grand finale, if you will. It's been 19 days since we started this campaign. And with all of your help out there voting every single day, we are on the cusp of quite possibly breaking history, broadcast history, if you will, by hacking the planet. Hacking the planet for what? Well, for me, to possibly win Best Morning Radio Show, brought to you by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. We only have about 54 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 54 minutes until it's all said and done. And then we ride off into the sunset, waiting for about a month until we figure out exactly who is going to win this year's Best of Richmond Award for Best Local Morning Radio Show here in Richmond, Virginia. Now, it's very simple. We do have, like I said, about 54 minutes left for you to text that number right down there. You can see it scrolling across the screen. It says hashtag #SamTheVote. Text 127 to 804-430-5505. That's 127 to 804-430-5505. And like I said, you just have about 53 minutes to go for you to cast your final vote for broadcast history. Now, there's another way you can vote, and that's very simple as well. That is going to this website, go.richmond.com/thebest. That's go.richmond.com/thebest. And what you do is you scroll down to entertainment. Let's see here. You scroll down to entertainment. Click entertainment. Then scroll down to Best Local Morning Radio Show. When you click on that, you will then see my name, Sam Newsman, WDCE. There it is. I see it. Yeah. And so then you're able to vote with your email address as well. So that's 2 votes that you can do before midnight tonight. Like I said, we're counting it down, ladies and gentlemen, to midnight as we are closing out this edition of Sam-The-Vote-A-Thone. You know, we might not ever do this again. I've been thinking that, because if we win, I'm also going to ride off into the sunset with that. People say, oh, no, you should hold the line until next year. It's like, no. You got to go out on top. Last thing you want to do is be like Michael Jordan and come back a couple of years later with the Wizards. He just should have ended with the crossover and the fadeaway, Game 5 against the Jazz, and then call it. But no. He had to come back, and then he was with the Wizards, and, well, we all know how that went down. So, no, I'm not going to sit there and try to hold the line or, two-peat or repeat, whatever kind of words you want to use. We're just going to win it this year, hopefully with your help. And then, like I said, just call it. Call it and ride out on top, because we will be setting broadcast history, ladies and gentlemen. Don't misunderstand me. We will be making broadcast history where myself, a real award-winning media puppet, ends up possibly beating all of the corporate radio shows. Now, these are radio shows that are funded by advertising dollars And we are not. We're not funded by advertising. What did you say? What was that? No, nothing. No, they don't know that you're there. Why are you looking at me like that? No such thing as a Lord blanket. No such thing as a Lord blanket. Pay no attention to the blanket over my shoulder. There's no such thing. No such thing, ladies and gentlemen. But back to what we were talking about. Yes, corporate radio shows, ladies and gentlemen. Corporate radio shows that, well, let's face it, they get funded by advertising dollars. They have marketing teams that try to sit there and figure out how the winds are blowing. And so there's all the, what is it, focus groups, all of that nonsense. And here we are on just a little small 8-mile signal every single Saturday morning, broadcasting out of WDCE. That's 90.1 FM out of the University of Richmond. Now, we don't plan to have any radio shows until September-ish. That's when we'll be coming back. But just keep following me at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's at Sam Newsman all over social media is where you will find me. And we'll be giving you updates, whether or not we've made the top 3. And once we do have the date of the banquet, we'll let you know. Because then we will find out at the banquet where exactly we will be placing. So that's very, very exciting. Once again, 127-804-430-5505. That's 127-804-430-5505. Before we get to our guests, though, I do want to bring in our amazing producer here real quick. Jordan, I just want to say thank you. You have been holding it down this whole time we've been together. So it's been quite a ride, quite a journey, but I do want to say that if it wasn't for you, none of this would be possible. So I want to thank you, sir, for just all of your hard work, bringing up the articles, recommending articles. It's been quite a ride, but I can't say anything but more than just thank you.
Well, you're welcome, Sam. Anything for you, my friend.
Well, you know what? You really have elevated the production, if you will. You've set the standard and raised the bar.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to thank you. And like I said, we'll bring you back in towards the end of the show. I might end up asking you during the show to maybe bring up something. We're going to be talking about a few things.
That's why I'm here, Sam.
Comic book related. So, but I just wanted to say, just give you a tip of the cap, if you will, sir, before we got started. And thank you for all of your hard work during this journey as we've been trying to make broadcast history, if you will.
That's right.
But anyways, we'll bring Jordan back here in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen. But he's back there. But people have been asking me, Sam, what do you want to do for your last show? And I've been thinking, well, do I just want to do it by myself? Do I want to be somber and just, go out and tell everybody to, just love your family and, hug everybody, because we do have an alien spacecraft that's supposed to show up sometime in November to create the end of the world. What? What do you mean I wasn't supposed to tell him that? No, what? I mean, but it's all over the... No such thing as a Lord blanket. No such thing as a Lord blanket. But what I was thinking is that, I have been, I don't really see a lot of these Marvel movies, these superhero movies, DC movies. I don't really watch too many of them. Why? Well, because most of them are garbage. I mean, hot garbage. The kind that is like smoldering from a flaming dumpster. They call that a dumpster fire. But I ended up going and seeing a movie today that I'll be honest, I thought it wasn't that bad. In fact, I was watching it and I said, well, hey, you know what? This is quite family oriented, if you will. And but I've heard there's been people who are kind of upset with it. They say, oh, well, this isn't exactly kind of right because the superpowers are off and everything. So I decided, hey, you know what? For this last show, let's talk about comics. let's talk about these comic book movies, and let's talk about the first family of Marvel, and that is the Fantastic Four. And there could be a whole lot of people that I could bring into this, but I did want to bring in somebody who I know is a comic book expert. I mean, he's got a whole treasure trove of comics to begin with. And so, far be it from me to try to play expert when it comes to comics. I'm just telling you that I liked the movie, and I thought it was pretty neat. I know a little bit about comics and stuff like that, but I do need to bring in an expert. This expert has been in the chat almost this whole time while we've been doing the show, and I'm excited to say that this is his first appearance with me in quite a while. Now, he's been on the radio show before, but this is the first time on camera, and I'm very, very excited to have him here. He is my go-to comic book expert, and that is Rezo Nate. Rezo Nate.
Hello, Sam.
Oh, it's so good to see you. So good to hear your voice. And, you know, I was just telling the audience just how much of a comic book savant you actually are. And it's one thing because, you know, the other day, I think we had Paranoid on here. And it was really funny. You were just having conversations in the chat all over the place about all the conspiracies, tying everything together. And while it'd be very easy for us to talk about all of that, I was like, well, hold on, wait a minute. I don't want everybody's heads to explode too much. Let's pull it back a little bit and have a little bit of fun, because not only are you versed in conspiracies, current events, world history, and all of that, you are a comic book savant, and you've been dealing with comic books almost your whole life. So, in fact, tell everybody real quick, when did you start getting into comics?
Listen, you are too kind, sir. Don't ever, you know, I'm a conspiracy guy. This is the word expert. Don't call me an expert. People will think COVID expert, and then look what happened. But no, I just been into comics since I was a kid. I'm a good friend of your producer, why I follow your show so much. And I mean, ever since I was little, I think I had my first comic by the time I was 3 or 4 years old, and right. I still have them right now. Like, this is one of my first ones. This is the old Fantastic Four.
Whoa, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me put you on full screen here, because that's the one, though. I mean, that's kind of what.
This was one of the first comics I ever read. And I read it in an old attic. My dad had them saved in an old box, an old waterlogged box. And it was just one of my favorite comics. And Fantastic Four is just one of my favorite story arcs, everything. I love everything about them. And I don't remember all of them. Don't call me a savant just yet, but I do remember them like as they're a fond memory from my childhood, for sure. And I still save them to this day. I got a bunch of good ones. This is another one of my favorite ones. You know, all these old Fantastic Four comics, they had amazing artwork. The stories were cool. I was a big Fantastic Four fan, probably first. Spider-Man first, because of Movie World. I don't know if any of you guys out there ever had a Movie World or a Movie Time. But Marvel used to make these. They were in the 70s, and they used to make these old cartoons before, you know, Marvel ever got really big. Modern day, they had these cartoons they put out on VHS tapes, and that's kind of what I grew up on. That was my first introduction to comics, and then I found this treasure trove chest in my attic, and of course, you know, I was just a little nerd at that point. I would just sit up there and read comics.
Not joking to me is asking what year were those two issues that you just that you just put up on the screen?
Hold on here.
I want to say those are back in the 60s. I think back in the 60s.
I don't remember the exact year. I got to be really delicate with it because it's kind of degraded over time. Hold on, I'll tell you.
This is absolutely incredible.
This is April's issue, 1966. That's my favorite one. That's the emergence of Galactus.
Ah.
So 1966. Yeah, my dad was born in 1950, and so he collected comics all the way up until around, late teenage years, and so that's the ones that I got to sift through in the old attic there.
Look at this. And now it was interesting when we were sitting there a couple of weeks back or a couple of days ago. It seems like weeks, but we were sitting there talking about, hey, if you came on and we started talking comics, the chat would just start asking questions. Galactus versus Darkseid. Who do you got? Look at that right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. And so this, I told you, Sam, this was always going to be a hit, is the verses. So listen, I know about Darkseid, and I know that's always a good versus Galactus. But because I'm a fan of Galactus, and he is the power cosmic and can eat the planets, people think that he's like, if you watched this recent movie, your opinion is that Sue Storm is just super powerful and can push him back. Not in my opinion. Just for example, the power that he gave Silver Surfer himself, he only gave him a little bit of the power cosmic, right? And that's the Fantastic Four didn't know what the heck to do with Silver Surfer at first. None of them combined. So the modern day, they make all of these characters that they like super powerful. No, man, you're not touching Galactus. Not unless you're like the Beyonder or something like that. You're not touching Galactus. He's top tier villain.
Legendary Burritos asking, what is Galactus's weakness? Is there a weakness? Does he have a weakness?
Not a weakness, but the fact that he doesn't take he barely ever takes anything personal. He's just hungry. His weakness is his strength. The same thing. It's his unquenchable hunger. And a herald can always direct Galactus to wherever he needs to be directed. That's why he uses the heralds. He barely has, he doesn't have enough focus. Once he starts to eat, he just continues to devour. He's like the old school demiurge. He's just the modern day version of it. He lives off a planet's energy, devours the energy source, and then moves on. So if you want to beat Galactus, you're not going to kill him. He's the power cosmic. But you can have him move on and potentially save your world. And because he doesn't take it personal, for the most part, I know in modern day comics, he has more of a vengeful side, but not really. He's very impersonal, and he looks at everything like ants compared to him. So if that would be a weakness, his strength, the fact that he just has to devour, is how you can use that against him. You can continue to get him to devour somewhere he likes better, then you can get him to move on. But other than that, no, you're not touching Galactus. He's absolutely my favorite villain of all time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have questions, if you have a versus question for Resonate, make sure you put it in the chat and we'll let him cook. We'll let him cook, says the real deal. But so if anybody has any suggestions about this superhero versus that superhero, it doesn't have to be just Marvel. It can be Marvel and DC.
Yeah, don't get me going on Stoops.
We can get going. So it'll be good stuff. Now, you mentioned this current movie, and this current movie, you're talking about Sue Storm. Now you're saying that I guess she's portrayed a little bit overpowered in this, as opposed to how she was originally made in the original comics. Correct?
Sam, she was originally in the Invisible Girl. She wasn't even the Invisible Woman. They had to do that later, once they started trying to make all of these characters that weren't meant to be super powerful. The reason why the Fantastic Four was so cool originally is because they were all flawed, right? They all represented an element. They all represented natural order, right? Air, fire, water, earth. They all have to work together to beat villains that are much more powerful than them, or in I guess in an overall sense, but together they could defeat pretty much anyone, and they were all flawed, right? That's what the human family got put together, and once they figured out they could unite, they could take on any villain that came their way, and that's why the Fantastic Four is so rad.
So this new movie, I guess, is not keeping to the same level of originality that the original comics is, because it's set in the 60s and everything, some weird
It's just
alternate.
I mean, look at the Herald they chose. How are you going to have the girl Herald from Zen La? Like, I know that they created that later in the comics, but what I'm saying is, why not just bring back the original awesome Silver Surfer? It's propaganda. It's modern day propaganda at its finest. They slide her in there because she was a real character. They slide her in there because, you know, that is the way of the world today. To change the gender of the character, to change the race of the character. They want to manipulate the characters to what they want to be popular, but they don't stick to the original stories. And for people like me, it's just lame, right? Like, it would be like if someone came out with a comic all about the amazing land of Wakanda, and it would be like the main character being a white girl. It's like, who cares, right? But it's lame. So, like, to me, modernizing these old stories is lame. Like, no one really cares. But the fact that they have to do it in the way that they do it, them acting like, oh, it was always that way. It just bothers me, bro. It bothers me. Since I grew up reading these old 60s comics, and when I see the difference, I can't help myself, dude. Got to be a critic.
Someone's asking in the chat, they said, do they do that for copyright reasons though too? Is it sometimes that there is licensing or copyright reasons that they might use or change the genders or something to that effect?
I don't think so, because I don't know. I'm not a producer. And I'm not a modern day. See, a lot of these stories, they're obviously written by different people. And I get that they have to change some things up, but I think the initial rights to the comics, they have to be bought to be able to produce a movie or to use the name in general. So I'm not sure, but my guess is that it's less about copyright issues. I think when you have to receive permissions or rights to make these movies in the first place. And so I'm pretty sure that it is a lot about agenda. That's just my opinion. You're talking to a conspiracy theorist all day, every day. So my opinion is that it is a modern day agenda happening in modern day comics.
What is it? Jordan in the back says they just want to check boxes, Sam. Well, that's about right.
Yeah, or it's just like a policeman. I'm just doing my job, right? I'm just doing my job. No matter what I do, I'm just checking a box. I'm just doing my job. That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I watch these movies. I'm like, come on, help yourselves out. Don't seem super lame. Like, just stop it.
Well,
Sue is not pushing Galactus out of the frame. She's not pushing Galactus 1 centimeter, right? If he doesn't want her to, it's not happening.
Right.
He's the power cosmic embodied. He eats the energy of entire planets. His Herald can go the speed of light, and Fantastic Four could do nothing with Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer's weakness is his heart. That's how they have to get to him. They have to get to him on his old being level. On his
isn't that what happened in the film this time around too? # spoiler, but I mean they did the same thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, but
you see what I mean? They took like his story and they just gave it to a new Herald.
Right.
Now, granted, I will say that one line was real rad. I herald your end, I herald Galactus' beginning. However she said it, that was a cool part of the movie for me. It was super nerdy and I liked every bit of that. But, the whole, Fantastic Four is driven by Reed's genius. And Sue backs him up, and she takes the ship around, makes everything invisible, and she can sometimes create a force field. That was given a little later in the 70s. And that was about it. Like, she is working all the controls. She's his main helper, right? And Ben is the powerful guy. He's got to go do the physical fight. And Johnny Storm is there whenever they need to go fight something elemental, or he needs to go out and do his thing with fire. But they have to all work together. I don't like how they put all of these guys getting their ass, well, not curse, getting their butts kicked, and then all of a sudden bring in the heroine who
Right.
that never would have happened. They all would have had to do the thing together. And they kind of did. They kind of used the surfer, right? They had to use the surfer. But at the same time, they all had to do more. In the comics, they had to perform more of a role each to win the battle. And I just didn't see it in the movie. And so to me, it was a little letdown. It's like most of the modern day comic book movies. But I
tell you what I was going to say. Well, I tell you what's not a letdown. What's not lame is that you have 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, to text 127 to 804-430-5505. That's less than 30 minutes now, ladies and gentlemen. And that's not lame. That's not propaganda. In fact, what you're doing is you are hacking the planet. Hacking the planet for what? Broadcast history, where my little old puppet self could potentially end up winning the best morning radio show in all of Central Virginia.
Dude, Sam, you got this. You got this.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah,
you think so?
Yes, Sam, you got this.
Okay, listen. So Not Joking's asking a question. Now, remember, if anybody has a question, of versus question, we're doing versus. That's versus this character versus that character. They can be DC versus Marvel. If you have a versus question, put that in the chat. I'll bring it up and we'll quiz Resonate about who he thinks would win that particular battle.
These are always fun.
But this is someone who's asking, are the characters based on mythological or ancient gods?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the natural forces were the Fantastic Four, the natural world, the natural order. You have Victor Von Doom, who's pretty much Nimrod, right, of Babel. He's got Lemuria. Nimrod had the secret city of Babel. They both dealt with sorcery. Semiramis was Nimrod's mom. The whole story arc of Victor Von Doom was that he's trying to get in touch through sorcery to his dead mother, which is a weird story arc for back then. But this was the time in comics where sorcery and the supernatural were often mixed in comics at the time. It's super popular, and I love the fact that they did it. But yeah, so you have Victor Von Doom. Galactus was the old Gnostic demiurge. All of these stories are the same stories told over and over throughout time. They're nothing new. They're just a different version of the same story.
Who would Zeus be in the comic world?
Oh, well, they made Zeus.
Okay.
Yeah, they made Zeus. They made a lot of these guys, like Thor, right? They made Thor. They had to use fallen angels and their lowercase gods. They created characters for them, and they even took old characters from the old world. Like I said, Nimrod. Look up Nimrod and Semiramis. Look up their story. It's the same story as Victor Von Doom. And you guys will probably see next in the next movie just how powerful they made Victor Von Doom, which I think is lame because originally he's just based off of the fall, right? He's based off of jealousy and pride. He wasn't as smart as Reed, and he didn't get the girl. And he wanted his mom. He couldn't get anything he wanted, and he thought he was top tier. But remember, in the beginning of the comics, he had an experiment, a supernatural experiment, him trying to contact the netherworld, and the experiment blew up, right? Scarred his face, his pride, his ego, and that's what created the maniacal and super powerful Victor Von Doom. That's why he left. And that's why he vowed to never allow that to happen again. Same thing, Galactus. Galactus is the old demiurge. He doesn't think that he's doing anything wrong. He's not necessarily trying to be evil like Victor Von Doom. So yeah, great question. All of these are old stories just rehashed in modern day ways. It's pretty. That's why comics are awesome.
What about Hulk versus Godzilla?
Dude, you can't beat Hulk. Godzilla, there's nothing Godzilla could do to Hulk. Hulk, as soon as he starts getting mad, just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And gamma radiation versus a big lizard, he's crushing that lizard every day, twice on Sunday.
All right, what about this one? Me versus Kermit the Frog. How about that?
Kermit B. Frog here. No, so Sam has been around since Roswell. Okay, so Kermit has nothing on Sam. Sam should have been known way before Kermit. But you
hear that, Jesse? You hear that, Jesse? I see you down there. He says he got $5 on Kermit. You hear that, Jesse? Look at that. Listen to that.
Kermit couldn't even handle Miss Piggy. Get out of here.
That's right. Right. That is so great. Okay, here you go. Oh, here's a big one from Deadman. Earth X was a miniseries in 2000, I think, with Multiverse as a way to add mutants and Fantastic Four to the main MCU universe. It's to have Norrin, I'm sure I misspelled that, Rad in the future. NORAD Rad in the future.
Yes.
So
that's, Earth X series is like one of the most theologically rich Marvel storylines ever. Like,
I see you, Dead Man.
I don't know, like it goes into exactly what I was saying. I mean, Dead Man's on point. It goes into like, it's just like Galactus as the Demiurge and Doom as Nimrod, cosmic creation and corruption. Earth X is a good series to follow. I highly recommend following Earth X. It's super dystopian. It talks, it's the Celestials. So he was listening. He understood the assignment. Earth X is, if you've never read Earth X, I highly recommend giving that series a read. It's a good one to pick up for sure.
What about Indiana Jones and Kermit? Who's going to win that one?
Yeah, like I said, he couldn't handle Miss Piggy. He's not handling Indiana Jones.
That's right. If he can't handle Miss Piggy, he can't handle anything.
Yeah. You get put in place by Miss Piggy. I'm sorry. I'll take Kermit commentary all day long. But I put my money on Indiana Jones.
So I see Dead Man saying, I'm playing Sam. Kermit's got nothing on you. Just by the way, we are all toy mercs. Just so you know, make sure that you go to legionsmagazine.com. You can get the second issue of Legions Magazine. We had Dead Man on about a week earlier this week or last week. It was sometime. Anyways, we had him on. We had Toy Mercs on talking about Toy Mercs action figure photography. Shout out. We are all toy mercs. Now, here was a good one. This one is coming in hot, if you will. Let's see here. Let me try to bring this one up. Let's see here. How about Iron Man versus Batman? Oh,
Classic.
Lord.
You're about to get me on. Wait, I'm in my bag. Hold on.
All right. Okay.
So
the floor is yours, sir.
The Iron Man is technically a better Batman. He has brilliance. He also requires prep time. His toys are way better. And he has pretty much unlimited resources. Same as Batman, but he's been in a top tier suit. And don't even get me started on the more modern suits that he has. They made him God level too, which is weird. But yeah, the fact that Batman is the most glazed over comic book character of all time.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the glazed over?
Remember, he's the most, like, they try to make him look so good and so powerful. Remember, he used to have problems with the Riddler. All right? Like, don't get me started on if he like, Batman is a crime-fighting hero without superpowers, really smart, with a lot of money and some cool toys. He's not even touching Iron Man. Like, he can't even fly. So, no. Iron Man all day long.
Iron Man all day long. Easy question. Anybody else has any verses they want to try to stump old Resonate with? Make sure you put them in the chat. and we'll just keep going through them. Pick anybody that you want, any character from all over the place. Heck, at this point, it's not just comics because we've already seen Indiana Jones whip the snot out of Kermit. Not that Kermit would have had a choice anyways, but you do have a choice. You have a choice to make sure that you can sow your last seed for broadcast history. There's 20 minutes left. We have 20 minutes to go. All you need to do is just text 127 to the number that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's 127 to 804-430-5505. That's 804-430-5505. Like I mentioned, we do have about 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left for you to cast your last vote for me for best morning radio show here in Central Virginia. Brought to you by our friends over at the Richmond Times-Dispatch, the newspaper of record here in Central Virginia. Deadman says that issue 2 is printing next week. Make sure you go find them, legionsmagazine.com. That's legionsmagazine.com. Follow them on social media at Toy Mercs. You can go do that too. I see there's 65 people watching across all social media channels. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. We are also mirroring this stream over on Exertus's channels as well. Tip of the cap to Exertus. And I just want to say thank you, Exertus, for allowing us the opportunity to be able to piggyback on all of your amazing subscribers. If you're not following Exertus, make sure you're following him too, because it is really great. Now, this is really good. Shout out, of course, to Kenzo. I see Kenzo over there. He says, happy Sunday. Now, I know Kenzo has some questions. He's a big Motu guy. He-Man, Skeletor, and all of those. I guess, though, the question for you, Kenzo, if you had to pick some verses, maybe if you had people within the Masters of the Universe versus comic book people, say X-Men versus the evil sorceress or whatever, or whoever. I know that Kenzo could pop in with a suggestion down in the chat. Maybe Skeletor versus, I don't know. What about, Skeletor versus Magneto. Who would win that? Resonate. Skeletor versus Magneto.
Oh, Skeletor's surrounded by nothing but rocks. Magneto destroys Skeletor.
Well, no, wait a minute. They're rocks. They're not made out of metal. What are you talking about?
He can get the ore out. He can control stone for sure. For sure. So he can control earth and stuff. There's a lot of rock and there's a lot of ore around for sure. But I think Skeletor, if he catches Magneto off guard up close, and he uses magic, then he can probably send good old Magneto into the netherworld. So I don't know. That would be a good one. It would be cool to see someone make a Skeletor versus Magneto.
Lord Blanket versus the world. Wait, hold on, wait.
Well, Lord Blanket already took over the world. That's what you don't know.
That's what a
lot of people don't know.
Such thing as a Lord Blanket.
He already took over the world.
There's no such thing as a Lord Blanket.
I'm blowing the whistle, Sam. Lord Blanket already rules the world.
What Lord Blanket rules the world? No, there's no.
It is what it is, Sam.
No such thing as a Lord Blanket. No such thing as a Lord Blanket. Okay, we have another one here. Oh, this is your favorite. I know how much you love anime. The Oz military force from Gundam Wing versus the Star Wars Imperial forces.
Unfortunately, the Oz military force from Gundam Wing.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Breaking news. Wait, hold on. You're saying is it because the Imperial forces can't hit anything with their own lasers? Is that the reason why? That's probably the reason. I mean, they can never hit anything.
How many lasers have to miss for them to lose a battle?
That's true.
I mean, it's really kind of comical at this point.
Jesse also says, Sam, there's iron deposit in rocks. There you go. There you go. So let's see here. Here you go. Is AI represented in comic books as an entity? Would that be Wouldn't that be Ultron?
Yeah, and I mean, Ultron is a great example. I mean, you could just Ultron and the power that runs all the Transformers, transhumanism. I guess in comic books, AI has been working through transhumanism for a long time.
Gotcha. That
But
sounds like
but look out for that, because this would be a time for comic book creators to use this is propaganda too. So good question, because I predict that more comics will be run by an artificial intelligence and more comic book characters will be influenced by an artificial intelligence in the coming years.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Could you have an example? Like, what do you mean?
No, I have a feeling more and more story arcs are going to come out where an artificial intelligence is taking over and is being used as propaganda. Like, it may not even be a bad thing. Like, you may see comics where artificial intelligence helps Iron Man, because it does, right? Artificial intelligence, he uses artificial intelligence already as his backup, right? That's the point. But it will be more powerful, and I can see, and these comics might already exist, but I can see them using that to help heroes so that you're not so scared of it when they try to use it to help your life. Like, for instance, did everybody know that they're giving up, like Europe is giving away all the Ring camera evidence or like footage from your homes to the government? So like all that's going to be put into systems like Palantir. So when they use systems like Palantir, not only is your house already mapped, it's going to be a live feed and they'll know everything, but they're going to try to make it seem like they're doing this to protect you. And they'll probably say they're going to protect the children this way, just like they're trying to get everyone to tell them their age on websites now. So do I see this happening in comics? Absolutely. Comics show what's happening in the real world just in a fun form. So yeah, great question. And that's absolutely going to happen.
Well, what's absolutely going to happen in less than 15 minutes, voting's going to be over. So what you need to do is you need to text 127 to 804-430-5505. That's 127 to 804-430-5505. We have over 70 people watching across all social media channels at the moment. I want to thank everyone, of course, for watching, but make sure you do text that number. You only have 13 minutes now left. 13 minutes. And as we are counting it down, we're going over superheroes, and we're telling people to put verses in the chat.
Oh, look, Invincible versus Thor.
Yes. What do you think about that?
So, what's that guy's name? Mark Grayson. Son of Nolan Grayson, Omni-Man, super strong, right? Like Franklin Richards is like next level strength, and he's Reed Richards' son, right? That's supposed to embody like the same Superman deal where two extremely powerful beings have a son that's even stronger. All that. That's old school stories throughout the world, throughout history. But in that question, he's strong, but Thor is a demigod. Thor is pretty much a god of thunder, and controls the power of Mjolnir. And yeah, no, I don't think he beats Thor. Not in the long run. I think Thor mid difficulty for sure.
How about Ookla versus Chewbacca? How about Ookla versus Chewbacca? I mean, who do we got there?
Oh man, I'm just gonna go with my favorite, like Chewbacca. Give me Chewbacca. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, all right, here's another one. We have this one right here. How about the Doom Patrol versus Fantastic Four?
Oh, I love the Doom Patrol, but none of them are even close to being as smart as Reed Richards. And in the end, that intelligence, he can outmaneuver and outplan anything the Doom Patrol can do. But good call out. I love the Doom Patrol. I love those comics. I love the whole idea. Great. Yeah, that's a good one.
Jesse says Sam for the win. Someone also asked why I'm at a 45-degree angle. That's just because that's where the camera is. So I could get all like up into it and then be like, hey, what? I don't like that. I don't like that. I kind of like the off foot. Hold on, wait. No such thing as a Lord Blanket. But we do have 11 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. 11 minutes left. Texting 127 to 804 430 5505. That's 127 to 804 430 5505. Now, here's one from Kenzo Mumra, the ever living, versus Thanos.
So, why you have to go? I mean, is it original Thanos, or is it Thanos with the?
I get. Well, yeah, that's really the question, Kenzo. Is that Thanos with or without the gauntlet? I mean, because there's that'd be a big difference there, I guess, right?
Yeah, huge. So what's he say? Because I mean, Mumra, Mumra is kind of creepy, but Mumra is really powerful. Like, don't get me. The Thundercats was one of my favorites. Now, he has all the ancient powers of all the old spirits. Like, so no one really knows how powerful.
He says minus the glove. Minus the glove.
Minus the glove. So let's see. Mumra's got necromancy, shape-shifting, sorcery. His weakness is he's tethered to that black pyramid, black rock. So Mumra is like Larry Fink. So Thanos can use him being tethered to that pyramid to destroy the pyramid, and Thanos wins. Mid difficulty.
Gotcha. Well, here's another one: Human Torch versus Ghost Rider.
Ooh.
Oh, now that's a good one right there.
Okay.
All right.
So listen, Ghost Rider only goes after those that he requires their sin. He has to take away their sin, right? Like so Johnny was kind of a ladies' man back in the day, and I don't know what all he's done. But if he's done enough for the Ghost Rider to show up, Ghost Rider removes his soul, and there's nothing Johnny can do. But if Johnny happens to be a clean spirit and however they make that judgment, then Ghost Rider doesn't even show up. So yeah, if Ghost Rider gets mad and he's there for a purpose, Ghost Rider wins all day long.
Okay, here's another one: Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century versus Darkwing Duck.
Yes, I'm just going Darkwing Duck because Darkwing Duck was that was a childhood go-to. I never would have thought they were going to bring that one up.
All right, how about this? Here you go: the Burbles versus the Smurfs.
Ooh, God, Smurfs creep me out. Give me Burbles, kind of creep me out too. I'm going childhood. I'm going Smurfs. They're creepy, dude. I don't understand what they do with those pots. Or yeah, give me the Smurfs. They creep me out.
All right, here's another one. Ooh, here's good. Here's a good one. Steel beams versus jet fuel. Oh, zing! You see what they did there?
Yeah, 9/11, right? Yeah. So steel beams win every time, all the time. They've never lost. And you know what? Those steel beams, they were actually built to take the burning of jet fuel. So the real question should be bombs, like explosives for steel beams. And then, of course, we watch the buildings, right? Explosives win every time. Yeah. So there you go.
Witchblade versus Wolverine.
Ooh. Wolverine's healing factor makes him too ferocious at the beginning. If the fight lasts a long time, maybe Witchblade, because good grief. But you got to withstand Wolverine, and he's going to heal immediately. So Wolverine decapitation. Good mid to high difficulty.
Duncan versus Tony Stark. Now Duncan is Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Man-at-Arms versus Tony Stark. How about that?
I want to say Man-at-Arms, but it's Tony Stark.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's Tony Stark. He just blasts Man-at-Arms. I like Man-at-Arms better. I'm an old He-Man fan. I'm an Iron Man fan too, but daggone it, it's Tony Stark.
Now here's a good one. Gargoyles versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh
man, this is good.
Your
grief.
Audience is killing it with this one. Okay.
Yes. Okay. What is it? What do we got? Who do we got?
Listen, here's why. Okay, this is because it's a toss-up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have the fighting ability, they have the weapons, and they have Master Splinter. But there's more gargoyles. Gargoyles only defend their fortress and fight against evil, so 9 times out of 10 they're not going to fight. But if they had to fight, gargoyles overpower Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I hate to say that too because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is just the best. But Gargoyles is my favorite cartoon of all time.
Well, I'll tell you also what is the best. Possibly me.
Yeah.
And if you in the next 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes to go. To text 127 to 804-430-5505. That's 804-430-5505. Text 127. Every cell phone you can get your hands on to in the next 5 minutes. We're less than 5 minutes away from ringing that bell, ladies and gentlemen. And as we take it home here, we are going to still continue to ask old Resonate some questions. How about Green Arrow versus Hawkeye?
Oh, two of my least favorite. I don't like people that just hop around shooting the arrows. But, yeah, Hawkeye's elite level, Green Arrow's street level. I take Hawkeye all day.
How about Victor Doom versus Howard the Duck?
Cartoon powers. Okay, so dang it, these are good questions. Where are these people getting these? These are good ones. Of course, it's Victor Von Doom, especially now because he's pretty much like God level character. But everyone, just go watch Howard the Duck, just because it's an '80s gem, and he gets the girl, which is weird, but great movie, great character, cool comic. Yep. Steppenwolf versus G. Ooh,
there you go.
Ooh. Steppenwolf. I'm taking Steppenwolf. I only say that because Sam, in fact, is not a fan of G.I. Joe, and so we're going Steppenwolf.
How about this one? What do we got here?
What is that? I can't read it. It is
voluntarism versus statism.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you did there.
Right.
Well, give me liberty or give me death. So how about they equal each other out, and I'll take liberty for 500. Satan. No, Sam.
Satan? No, okay. Scarecrow versus Mysterio. Who do we got?
Ooh, good one. If Scarecrow gets up close, Scarecrow wins. But if Mysterio knows anything's about to happen, Mysterio will just alter his reaction. Yeah, Mysterio. That's a weird fight. If Scarecrow does what he does to everyone else and he gets up in your face and he gets you to ingest the stuff, then Mysterio doesn't have a chance. He's gonna hallucinate, not know what's going on, try to bend that reality, and he loses. But that's a great question.
Van Helsing versus Hellboy.
Oh yeah, Van Helsing can't do anything with Hellboy. Hellboy's super powerful, and when he comes up with that fist, Van Helsing's gonna have a problem.
Oh, here you go. Dead Man's all over it. He says Colonel Sanders versus Popeyes.
Oh man, I knew someone was gonna bring up the Popeye. Listen, man, because that's just not even real. But Popeye actually has comic book powers these days. Like Popeye is legit a force to be reckoned with in comics. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, Colonel Sanders doesn't stand a chance. But fried chicken. Then we were talking characters. Yeah,
90 seconds.
I take Popeyes over Colonel Sanders all day too.
90 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the final countdown as we continue this quest. Now, let me just bring in our producer here. Hold on. Let me just sit there.
Oh, it said Popeye. Sorry, the text is so small. I thought it said verse Popeye. Popeye's all day. Yeah, Popeye's all day.
Popeye's all day. Guys, we have 1 minute to go. So I wanted to bring all of you in here as we just count down this last minute. Drum roll, please, is what somebody says. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have. Are you drowning? Wait. No, we have less than, we have, what is it? 45 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Place your votes.
Get them all in.
127 to 804-430-5505. That's 127 2-804-430-5505 as we're counting down the last 30 seconds. And gentlemen, I just want to say thank you so much for being here as we count down these last couple of seconds. 20 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen. And then that little ticker at the bottom of the screen will go away. That's right. So once again, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Yeah, we're all done, ladies and gentlemen, and it is over. It is over. It is over like Grover. And when he falls out of the sky because his cape doesn't work. No. So anyways, listen, gentlemen, it has been such a pleasure. And, I don't want to keep everybody here too long. Got people coming in here saying, you got this, Sam. Cheers. Let's see. People just still coming in asking about who this person versus this one, blah, blah, blah.
These are valid questions, Sam.
Happy New Year's to everyone. Yes, indeed. Best of luck, Sam. Voted every day waking up. So this has been quite an interesting one. Now I'm going to leave with one last one. No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, we got two of them here. I got two. One of them is, of course, my favorite. Brave Star versus Captain Planet. It's going to be Brave Star all day long. Brave Star all long. All day close. Long. Yeah, not even
What
close.
does Captain Planet even do? I can't even remember what he can do.
Propaganda. He does propaganda. That's what he
it,
does.
right?
Yeah.
He shoots his magic propaganda and saves the environment.
That's right. So now, gentlemen, here's the last one. This is a roundtable discussion for this one. Real Mayo versus Miracle Whip.
Yeah, give me real mayo. Don't give me that sour Miracle Whip. Man, hell no.
Yeah, I'll go with real mayo too. I don't like that sour whip.
No.
So now, is there a particular mayo that you need to have, though? Is there a
Daisy?
No, not. See, it's funny. You said Daisy. I was going to say Dukes.
I mean Dukes, not Daisy. Sorry, I was thinking sour cream. Dukes. Yeah, Dukes mayo. Dukes mayo is my favorite mayo.
Right. So, well, and if you're bougie, you no longer eat mayo. You just have aioli. At least I think that's what it is. Do we have any other? Maybe there's another one that's coming in here.
These are verses are just fun, dude. I'm telling you.
Someone said Cool Whip. What?
Cool Whip.
Gotta lug the tangy zip. That's what somebody said. Someone said Hellman's. Ugh. So, someone said Stan Lee versus Thor's hair. That's another one.
Stan Lee even had a handler. I bet you guys didn't know that.
Oh, of course he did. Now, here you go. John Wick versus the guy from Scent of a Woman.
Did the guy from Scent of a Woman hurt John Wick's dog? Because if so, doesn't stand a chance.
Oh no, that's true. That is true. Someone said veganese. Who's having veganese? So
vegans, Sam. Vegans.
Vegans. What are they? What are they? They don't even eat eggs. They don't even eat eggs. I mean, come on, you gotta at least have eggs.
Who doesn't eat eggs?
Who doesn't eat eggs? Oh, I know somebody that doesn't eat eggs, but and they're not even vegan. And in fact, they're Jewish and they eat pork. How about that? I don't even get it. I don't understand. Okay, final question, guys.
Sam, they're fake Jews, Sam.
That's something like that.
They're not Jews. They're Jewish.
They're from old school.
They're Jewish.
Yeah, they're from old school Khazar. Their family's from Rome and Khazar.
That's indeed. All right, Epstein versus Diddy in a steel cage match.
Diddy pins him down and has his way with Epstein. Easy.
Probably.
Yeah.
Diddy would be all lathered in that.
Listen, this could still happen because they're both still alive.
Oh, yes. Okay, here's another good one. Harambe versus 50 other apes.
Ooh, Harambe's smarter. I'd just take Harambe just because.
He'd figure something out.
Yeah, he'd figure something out. That's what I say.
Kinzo said, what if Tupac is the ref? With Epstein and Diddy.
I mean, did you see
he's alive too, right?
This is a hot take. Did you see the original interviews for his art school? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
No, would he be involved or would he be the ref? I don't know.
Oh, he'd be holding the camera.
Listen.
Okay, 9 sheep versus 1 wolf.
Oh, 1 wolf. That sucks. I love sheep. But yeah.
Yeah,
That's
unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
These
That
are
is so
great, dude. I
funny.
can do the verse. I love this. This is just fun. This is, you know what this is, Sam? This is sideshow infotainment.
It is sideshow info at its core, which is
its
why
core.
we're doing this for the Sam-The-Vote-A-Thone, the grand finale. Guys, these are still coming in like crazy. How about New Democracy versus Old Democracy?
It's still democracy, and we're in a republic. So
Are we? Wait a
they
minute.
both
Are we?
lose.
We
might
are
not
we?
be since
Wait a minute.
1870.
Are we?
Yeah,
Are
the
we
Organic
really?
Act kind of crushed our republic, right? But
Right.
I take republic for 1,000, Sam.
Right on.
I don't believe in their fake democracy. It just means control. If they can control the majority, they can control their quote unquote democracy.
Well, one thing that we controlled is we controlled this whole Sam-The-Vote-A-Thon. Now, Resonate.
Your
Everybody's
segues
been
are top notch.
Everybody's been listen, it'll be because I'm a real award-winning
I know.
media puppet. So, okay. So, all right. Okay. People keep coming in here and asking these questions. Tea versus coffee, guys. Coffee versus tea. Where are we going?
Oh, those
Jordan, what do you got? What do you got,
this
Jordan?
Like drink champs? Can I just take a drink for that one? I think that's what we do.
Is it tea or coffee, Jordan? What are we doing?
If I'm watching a soccer game, it's tea. If I'm having an American,
Depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you're sick, I'm going. If you're sick, you're going for tea, right?
Tea. Yeah.
But I'm going for tea when I'm watching soccer. I'm going for tea if I'm watching a British show. But if I'm feeling super American, it's a cup of Joe. Okay. So yeah, I'm taking a shot for that one.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, here we go. Star Wars versus Star Trek. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on with this?
Trek all day. The only thing I like about Star Wars are the Ewoks.
You mean you don't even like Yoda? Are you not a Yoda
Yoda's
fan?
kind of cool.
All right.
Yeah, he
was a puppet, right? You know that, right? He was a puppet. Until they made him all CGI and ridiculous.
The Force was strong with that one. So yeah, I like
it was. Well, the Force was also strong with us as we close out this, of course, amazing show once again. So 84 people watching. Hope all of you voted. You can no longer vote anymore. So if you're like, vote for what? Oh, well, you missed it. Shame on you. You don't get to be a part of broadcast history. Well, you do because you're watching this show still. But Resonate, everybody's been asking, where can they follow you online?
So just wait till I show up on your show when you reconvene, Sam. I got a book coming out, and I've had a podcast called the Transmission X Podcast, and I put it to bed for a little while until the book is finished. The book will be about the inversion of history. Will be about conspiracy theories. I'll be naming every ruling family and what they do and their current ties to this day. So if you're into that, then just wait, and I will reveal when Sam starts his show back up, I'll make sure the first place that I talk about the book is on the show. So just stay tuned and be ready.
Nice,
well,
man.
we appreciate that, of course. And we want to thank you, of course, for joining in to the show this evening. We're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we're going to be gone for about a month or so, we'll get Resonate back. We'll probably do this. Hell, we could do this on a weekly basis, possibly.
We need American Paranoid American. What was he called? That guy was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Thomas is fantastic. You know, one of the things we could do is we could create a 64-player bracket like March Madness with superheroes, and then go through a whole bunch of those and see who would win through the whole bracket. There's so many things.
This is how you do this, Sam. You create the bracket and then you play squares. And you have everybody buy a square, and then whatever square you pick and the name is under it is who moves on. We could play squares with superheroes and have a draft. That'd be awesome.
Somebody ends up saying Orko versus Yoda. Orko all day long.
I like
always. Orko. It's Orko. What are you talking about? He was voiced by Lou Scheimer. Orko is he's actually the heart of Masters of the Universe.
There would give me no real last name Scheimer and expect me to get my vote, Sam.
Oh, there you go again with those names.
Yeah, your old shtick, Sam.
Oy vey.
There it is. There it is.
Kenzo says he knew that Sam would take Orko all over.
Yeah.
Of course. Now, Jordan, you have
he's a puppet.
Well, of course, yes, absolutely. Well, Jordan, you have a podcast. You had a podcast. You're gonna keep. You're gonna start doing your podcast again. Where can everybody find you online?
Yeah, you can find me at DivulgencePod on Twitter or divulgencepod@gmail.com, or you can check out the YouTube channel. And Resonate will have to get you on when the book comes out, my friend.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to promote it on there because it's just he's been around since Roswell. Why would I choose any other show?
No, I mean on his show.
I mean, we'll get you
I'd
on.
be happy
We'll
to go
get you on
your show, bro.
Divulgence as well.
Oh, for sure. No, I'll come on there and
Yep.
talk about whatever you want to talk about. Like I said, this is fun. But
Yeah, man.
conspiracy is my bag. So if you want to talk about some cool stuff, I'm more than happy to all day long.
That's my jam, my friend. That's my jam.
I know. I saw the books that you had, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, nice.
Good stuff, gentlemen. Listen, I'm going to get you guys off screen here for a second. I'll join you in the back in the green room in just a few moments. Thank you guys so much. Of course, Jordan, you've been such a pleasure working with this whole time when we've been doing the Vote-A-Thon, and Resonate, of course, always amazing. Kenzo, when we start firing this back up again, got to get you on sometime. Make sure you're following Kenzo's Creations. Kenzo is all over YouTube and social media. Just go look up Kenzo's Creations. He's got a YouTube channel, does a lot of amazing stuff as well when it comes to 3D printing. God love Kenzo. And Kenzo, thanks so much for all of your support during the Vote-A-Thon as well. Now, wait, what was it? What do you mean give you a shout out? I'm not supposed to give you a shout out. Well, because you're not real. Well, I mean, I know that he spoiled everything and said that you'd already taken over the world. But we're not going to get into that. Not right now. Hail Lord Blanket. Okay, all right. No such thing as a Lord Blanket. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you who have voted throughout the last 19 days. Couldn't get this far without you, and hopefully we'll have some good news come the middle of September of where we actually placed. Make sure you're following me at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's at Sam Newsman all over social media is where you can find me. And, of course, we'll end as we always do with a little jingle that I wrote almost 10 years ago. Oh, through political correctness, we can't see life as it may be. That world hidden from you and me. I just laugh and start to sing. Ha 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 ha! It's sideshow infotainment. Politicians and news anchors and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. Oh, that Game of Thrones is what they play. A house of cards just day by day. Voters losing every way. It's just like I always say. Oh, it's sideshow infotainment. Politicians and news anchors. And talking points that make my eardrums bleed. Yeah. Donald Trump's got quite the past, with Epstein's files all up his ass. It's all a hoax. It's just a hoax. Oh, he says so fast. But you and I both know, ladies and gentlemen, it's the ruling elite that just keeps laughing last. Oh, it's sideshow infotainment. Politicians and news anchors. and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. The most trusted puppet in media, ha 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 ha, is me. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam, Newsman.